What's up, losers? Today I'm back with another r/niceguys video. Reading a couple of delusional rants and unhinged messages from the very best that the male species has to offer, and sharing my responses to them. This is episode 14 in the Nice Guys series, and I can't wait to find out what else women are somehow to blame for this time. So without further ado, let's get into it.
I wish you died in that car crash, so I can take that time I spent with you back.
But now you're insulting me, and making all these shitty assumptions about me that aren't true.
You're a piece of shit. Give me that time back. If I could turn back time, I'd make sure you were dead in that car.
Wow, charming. Who among us wouldn't want to go out with this guy? No, but seriously. This is pretty alarming, right? Like, he's genuinely wishing a painful death upon her. It doesn't get much more hateful or extreme than that. He also sounds like he's trying to threaten her life, without doing it outright. Like, I know I would interpret someone telling me that they wish they could go back in time to ensure my death as a threat, and I would be freaking terrified. I can only imagine how scary it must have been for this woman to receive such a message. Having actually gone out with the guy, it's enough to send a shiver down one's spine. That's for sure. Oh, and in case you're wondering, this wasn't coming at the end of an intense, long-term relationship, or anything like that, according to the Reddit post. They literally went on one date after having chatted online for a week. That's it. That was enough to elicit a reaction this explosive. So he didn't even spend much time on her after all. That's just the excuse he's giving for how irrationally upset he's getting. Because having a rage over someone wasting your time, even when you only went on one date, is easier than admitting that you can't handle rejection, I guess. I shudder to think what might happen if a guy like this, God forbid, got married, and then his wife wanted to divorce him. It's a genuinely worrying prospect. If the post wasn't worrying enough in its own right, I'm not sure if sending these sorts of messages is legal. But it really shouldn't be. You can't just go around harassing people and expressing the intent to kill them. It's not okay, and it's indicative of a person with the potential to be a real danger to society, who needs serious help. So yeah, this behavior is not it at all, and I hope that this guy is given some consequences, or at least some kind of reality check from somebody in his life, before his conduct gets any more out of hand than it already is. Okay, so I thought I should provide fair warning in advance of this second post, that it's a little steamy at one point. Hee. So if you're listening to this without headphones, and there are other people around, you might want to do something about the sound. Anyway, onto the post.
No one can touch my passion or devotion. It's not just sex, it's sacred stuff that is only unlockable when someone truly trusts another soul to take care of them and their wants and needs. I know you will come and find out, 'cause curiosity and forbidden fruit killed the cat. So let me know when we can go for a trip to the store. And for one night, you will be my hua, my slat, my queen, my goddess, and everything else in between. Truly, honestly, sinfully, sincerely, slowly, faster, harder, more, deeper, harder, deeper, then for sure, no doubt, I will be truest sin you ever had the courage to go about. Speaking to the heart, and what it wants. That is my goal, my weakness. Let me know at any moment you wish to sneak away. It's only for a day, or even less. I was dressed to impress. Would have loved to undress you with my teeth. Lookin' so fine, girl. Sleep well.
Ooh, gross. Ha, but seriously though, what on earth would compel someone to send a message like this? Embarrassing doesn't even begin to cover it. There were numerous points at which I stopped and seriously considered gouging my own eyes out, so that I wouldn't have to go on reading. Obviously this guy thinks he's some kind of sex god. And you know what? That's great. I'm glad that he's confident in his abilities. But nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to hear his wince-inducing fan fiction description of himself as the living embodiment of temptation. Nobody is volunteering to be his slat, and I can't speak for anyone else. But when he started saying harder and deeper over and over again, I felt personally violated. Haha. Like, yuck, man. Someone really needs to tell guys like this that less is more. If you're trying to build a mystique around yourself and thereby attract women, it's better to keep things simple and leave a little to the imagination than go into excruciating detail over your every most thought and fantasy. Because frankly, writing something like this out just sends up a giant red flag that you have an inflated sense of yourself, that you have no idea what constitutes normal or appropriate behavior, and that you don't understand boundaries. So yeah, next time, ease into things. Try being a little more laconic, a little more casual, and a lot less this. That would be my advice. At least.
I've been really crushing on this girl for months. And I finally spoke to her for a few minutes today. On Instagram DMs. And I asked her what she was doing. And she told me she was busy. And couldn't speak. And she got so freaking rude. When I asked why she was busy. Like, I'm just wondering what you're up to. I don't see how that's a big deal. But whatever. Anyway, she told me she'd speak later. 'Cause she was stressed out. And so I thought, okay, I'll break the ice a little. And I tried to cheer her up by saying, if she were here with me, I'd run her a nice bubble bath with a glass of champagne and candles and made it sound really sweet. And she didn't reply. I waited, and 4 hours later, she still didn't reply. I tried to ring her, and she didn't even answer. I don't understand why girls do this. Why do they give you the time of day to immediately ignore you? And I'm not being weird or anything. I'm just trying to be a good dude and still get shit on.
Man, it's wild to see how some of these guys will recount their experiences with women, and expect these experiences to lead others to the same conclusions that they have reached. But when you, as a non-crazy observer, read the posts yourself, you come away with little more than a dizzying confusion over how anyone can possibly be that clueless. Like, it couldn't be any more obvious that she doesn't want to talk to him. And that she's trying her best to politely disengage. But this guy just, straight up doesn't get it. And he thinks that what she really needs is for him to, quote, break the ice, by suggesting that he could bring her champagne and prepare her a bubble bath. Which, I'm sorry, what, if someone doesn't want to talk to you, and has expressed the desire to be left alone? You can't break the ice. That isn't how that works. What you're supposed to do is leave them alone. Shocking, I know. And as for the champagne and the bubble bath, what was this guy even thinking? You don't just tell someone that you're not in a relationship with that you'd like to run 'em a bubble bath. That's just so uncomfortable. Yikes. The most crazy thing about this post though, in my opinion at least, is that he still manages to blame the woman, both for being, quote, rude to him, and for, quote, giving him the time of day, to immediately ignore him on each of these accusations. All I can say is, what planet are you living on? She wasn't being rude to you when she told you that she was stressed out and didn't want to talk. She was being as considerate as she could in firmly rejecting your unwanted advances. Which she is completely entitled to do. If anything, she would have been well within her rights to be much more rude. In light of how you refused to take no for an answer. And as for her, giving you the time of day, i.e., leading you on, only to ignore you, all I can say is, nothing I can see in the post indicates that she gave you the time of day at all. It sounds like she was very clear in her lack of interest. And you were just unwilling to see it. Which is to say, it's a you problem, and you have no legitimate grounds for complaint. What's especially frustrating about all of this is how it puts the woman in a no-win situation. If she shuts him down, she's rude. If she tries to let him down gently, she's leading him on, which is honestly some BS, man. When you see posts like this, it's no wonder so many women end up ghosting dudes. Because although some guys will take rejection just fine, plenty of others, this one included, are just fundamentally incapable of being told no. And life is too short to waste time trying to protect these guys' feelings, when you're only going to get insulted for it anyway. Sighs. How sad. Well, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed meeting these lovely gentlemen with me, and hearing my polite responses to them. What do you think? Is it okay to wish death on someone for declining a second date? Would you want the second guy to undress you with his teeth? Would you want the third guy to run you a bubble bath? Let me know in the comments. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, or I'll make you my hua, my slat, my queen, my goddess, and everything else in between. Just kidding, haha. Anyway, catch you later.